major corridor serving 40,000 riders daily. The speaking list today is fairly brief for a DOT event, I must say. We have Commissioner Donis Rodriguez, followed by New York City Transit President Rich Davey, and Representative Edgar Ramos from the Community Board Transportation Committee Chairman, as well as many people who've worked from both agencies on this very important project. So without anything else, I want to introduce DOT Commissioner Donis Rodriguez, who will both speak and MC the program. Thank you.
Well, you know, I used to be a IONIC grassroots organizer and IONIC educator, because when you have been a teacher for 15 years and a council member for 12 years, there's a lot that we bring in this experience as commissioner. So thank you to every members of my team that they allow me to work for you. So thank you guys. Okay? It is always a great honor to be, standing here with a great leader, David Richard, the president of the New York City Transit, in big announcement. This is the city of New York. Mayor Adams say 8.6 million people, 35 million opinions. So whoever is holding any leadership position, we need to embrace, what New Yorkers is. They make leaders accountable. And for me, being a council member before, for 12 years, I make commissioner accountable. Now the council and the stakeholders, they work every day, and I appreciate their job to make me accountable too. So we know the job that they expect that we will do. But being working, again, with great partners, Richard, is a great honor. First, I would like to acknowledge that we've been visited by the director of the Seattle Transportation Department, Greg Spatz, is here. Again, a Connecticut born, who lived here in New York City in the 90s, so the music background, and then working in LA for 20 years with, great leaders there, including Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and now he has the big responsibility to also be leading the Department of Transportation in Seattle, and we have spent this morning, sharing ideas on the job that he's doing there and what we are doing here too. And before I say my few words, I want to acknowledge Johnny Jenkins, the Director of the Transit Development. Johnny, she is the person, again, that, is leading the great team that we have here, so they all deserve, our support with funding and all the support that they need in order to continue doing the job. Margaret Fujani is here, my Deputy Commissioner of Operations. Yes, we will talk a lot, Open Street, Halloween, Trick or Street today, in more than 100 locations, Car-Free Day, Summer Street. But we only are able to engage in those conversations because we run the signal program, because we do the roadway, we do the sidewalk, we do 800 bridges and tunnels, we do the starting on a ferry. And the person from my team that is in charge of operation is the great leaders here, also standing with me, Margaret Fujoni. So thank you for all your support, the great job that you've been doing at DOT. Thank you. And most of you know my name is Donis Rodriguez, and I'm the Commissioner of the New York City Department of Transportation. I'm the face of fighting for equity in New York City. That's what I've been doing my whole life, since I arrived in New York City in 1983 and living all my time in the underserved community in Northern Manhattan. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams, thank you for joining us on Gun Hill Road to celebrate this important street redesign. 3 miles of redesigning our bus lane here that will allow riders the opportunity for them to go to a destination faster. I believe that, this press conference is happening in a boarding island, which is important for us to highlight on what is the role of the boarding island, especially for New Yorkers in disability. They are 1 million, and they deserve to be saved as they wait for the buses. This is one of the 2 blocks Long Island installed as part of the project. East Gun Hill Road serves 40,000 bus riders on BX28, BS38. It is also a Vision Zero priority corridor. which means it is one of the most dangerous streets in the Bronx. On average, 5 people have been injured every week in crashes in Gun Hill. Mayor Adams and I and the team at DOT say this is unacceptable, and working with David Richard, then we plan together this big project for the bus lane that we have here. For the last few months, New York City DOT has been implementing a new redesign of more than 3 miles on Gun Hill Road with bus lanes to make commutes faster and more reliable for all those bus riders and support safe, sustainable transportation options. We have also implemented redesigning on 25 intersections to improve safety for all road users, including painted or concrete curb extension across the corridor and concrete pedestrian island at White Plain Road. Half of those traffic fatalities occurred in intersections, and you heard me loud and clear in January 22 when I took office. Intersection has been declared as sacred places in New York City, and the work that we have done in intersection have been providing the results. We have the lowest numbers of pedestrian fatality, especially many of those have happened in intersection since 2014. Again, by this time, we have the lowest numbers of pedestrian fatality in our city since 2014. Along 2 blocks on East Gun Hill Road, we have installed bus boarding islands to allow passengers to quickly and safely board buses. As you can tell, this is truly a holistic redesign to improve safety and bus service for commuters, often most of them working class and middle class New Yorkers, who Mayor Adams has said they are the center of our priority in our city as we address equity. These lanes will better connect Bronx residents to important destination jobs and health care, including Montefiore and North Central Bronx Hospital, Cobb City, Mall at Bay Plaza, and the Jerome Gun Hill Business Improvement District. Buses can also play an important role in connecting New Yorkers to the nearby subway, since not all New Yorkers live in Manhattan, as I do, that we have great train lane from the west to the east. In Manhattan, 75% of residents, they don't have cars, they don't have vehicles, but we have one of the best subway connections. In many places, people live in transportation deserts. So our buses also allow those New Yorkers to connect from the buses to the train. Gun Hill is also a priority location for us based on equity. At the end of 2021, New York City DOT created a new equity formula to prioritize underserved communities. Yes, I was a co-prime of that bill. Therefore, I'm accountable, and I work every day to be sure that we follow the law that we passed with the Street Master Plan and the equity formula that prioritize underserved community. This formula weighs area of the city based on the percentage of community of colors, working class residents, jobs, and population density, a historic or priority investment. Equity is a top priority, as I said before, for me and for Mayor Eric Adams' administration. And we use this formula to help map projects around the city. Every New Yorker should feel safe in our streets, and we look forward to more creative projects to come. Now I would like to introduce a great partner, as I said before, the president of the New York City Transit, David Richard.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Another bus going by. Unfettered. That's what we're here to be celebrating today. Just a few things I want to say. Scott, you were unveiling the ribbon earlier, so I think that was a message to keep my remarks short, which I will do. So a few things I want to mention. First, why we're here today. It's about making sure that these buses, the engines of equity we often say at New York City Transit, The engines of equity for New Yorkers are moving swiftly and safely across all 5 boroughs, obviously here today in the Bronx. The 28, the 38, the 41 sometimes are adding 15, 17 minutes per trip because of the congestion along Gun Hill. These 3 miles will allow New Yorkers to get to and from where they're going a lot more quickly. And our customers are telling us at New York City Transit that they will use our bus system more if they have more frequent and more reliable service. This is exactly what this bus lane will deliver. 2, it's about our employees, too. I think driving a bus in New York City, with all due respect to my friend from Seattle, he's not looking at me, is the toughest job in this business. It is the toughest job in this business. And to have bus lanes, soon camera enforcement to ensure that only buses are using these bus lanes is critically important for our employees. There are a couple of folks from the TWE here today. Don Yates, for example, who represents the hardworking 47,000 men and women in New York City Transit. Don, thank you for being here. I appreciate you and your members, our people. I do want to thank the DOT. I know it's a lot of hard work that has gone through this. We have a lot more work to do. I'm going to continue to push the commissioner and his team to find other ways where we can be ensuring that buses are priorities on our streets. Why? 40,000 people, the commissioner mentioned this, traverse this road every day. That is the size of the Charlotte transit system. That is the size of the Kansas City transit system, okay? I mean, this in of itself would be one of the largest transit systems in the United States. This is one bus lane in New York City, 40,000 New Yorkers. We need to continue to focus our efforts here and elsewhere to ensure that New Yorkers are getting good quality bus services, what they deserve. Finally, I want to thank my bus team, Frank Anacaro, the senior VP. I just say I'm a figurehead. He actually runs the bus system, Frank back there, and his team, Sarah, and our planning team. I mean, it does take a village. It seems probably fairly simple to roll out something like this. It is not. It is incredibly complicated. It took many people around behind me 3 years to pull this off. We are grateful, but as I said, clarion call, we have more work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard Davis, for, again, your work and all the support and how we navigate together, you know, the challenges that we have here. It also is very important, not only, again, for us as individuals that are in charge of leading those institutions, but also at the local level. This is so important for the community. So now let's hear from Edgar Ramos, the Bronx Community Chairman here on board, number 7.
Good morning. We basically want to thank DOT and the City of New York for taking the time to consider the residents of this neighborhood and those that have to travel through here. Because as he said, this is a very dangerous corridor. You know, there's a lot of schools, there's a lot of children. So we're hoping that these changes that they're making will help keep us safe and keep traffic moving. You know, it's always important to keep the buses moving to people to get to work. So we're hoping that this works and this, you know, thankfully, it started as a lot of Zoom meetings, you know, and now in-person meetings finally. But, you know, they got to see what changes work and see what changes have to be made to keep everyone safe and moving along. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
And again, let's put the numbers of perspective. The number that we talk about is equal to 14 million riders every year. So as we are getting close to the end of this year and our New Yorkers will be using the buses to go to different destinations to celebrate this holiday season, I think it is a good, important gift that New York City Transit and DOT is giving to those New Yorkers, again, 14 million who use this area every year going to all the destinations. So, again, like with that, we want to say thank you. En español, para nosotros es un gran honor estar aquí a nombre del alcalde Rick Adams, en el día que también estamos haciendo el Trick or Treat, celebrando Halloween, donde le estamos dando 100 lugares para que la familia con los niños vayan seguros a disfrutar este día tan importante. También el día de hoy estamos aquí con Richard Davis, asegurándonos de que los residentes de este vecindario 40,000 personas que usan los autobuses diarios en este lugar, que cuando lo multiplicamos por 365 días, vienen siendo 14 millones de personas que en el año usan sus autobuses para ir a cita médica, para ir a las escuelas, para ir a buscar empleo, para ir a un lugar de recreación, para ir a un mall a comprar también, pero también al final de año, donde nosotros vamos a entrar al periodo de celebrar los días festivos, también es un lugar donde las personas de la clase trabajadora lo usan. El alcalde Redesign, nosotros nos hemos comprometido a seguir prestándole atención a lo que es la equity, lo que tiene que ver con crear igual condiciones para que las personas puedan moverse en esta ciudad. Y le prestamos atención prioritaria a la clase trabajadora, que muchas veces ha sido olvidada. Para nosotros es una gran oportunidad estar aquí. Y hoy esto lo iniciamos como parte también de lo que hacemos, que es el comisionado en Borough. You know, I want to say that this is only a kickoff of the day that I spent in the borough. As a commissioner, I have made a few changes. One, I created the position of workforce development because I wanted to be sure that we have a person only in charge to be sure that the agency also hire based on diversity too. But also, for the first time, we have at DOT a director of immigrant affairs, a person that is responsible to connect DOT with all ethnic community that we have in the city of New York. And I also, as a commissioner, for the first time, started doing the commissioner in your borough. So once a month, I spend the whole day in each borough. So today I'm starting here in the Bronx, but from here I'm meeting with my workers. I'm having a round table. I'm having a meeting with the commissioner of SBS. But also we're going to be visiting some restaurant owners and explain to them the work that we are doing on the community engagement for them to put their voices on the community engagement related to the dining out project. So again, this is a moment that we are here saying thank you to everyone. And if there's any question, ready to answer.